5. It is 5:30 p.m. and we are in the Bosch Freilich meeting room at Mandan City Hall. City Administrator Neubauer, could you please take the roll call?
Commissioners Rohr,
Here.
Schoberg,
Here.
Heinshan,
Here.
Braun,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Here. Now we will have the Pledge of Allegiance, and Matt Hennessy from the Mandan Fire Department will lead us.
I lead from here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Matt. We're going to head to announcements, and Amy Berger will come up and we will announce the quarterly work anniversary recognition recipients.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We are excited to announce the quarter one years of service anniversaries for 2025. For this quarter, we have 10 employees that have completed 3, 5, 10, 15, and 25 years of employment with the City of Mandan. So we're very excited to recognize and congratulate those employees. We do have 2 that were not able to attend tonight, so we did want to congratulate them first. One being Allison Gross, Equipment Operator 2, and she has 5 years of service. And the next is Brad Glass, and he is the Utility Maintenance Superintendent with 10 years of service with the City of Mandan. So congratulations to Allison and Brad, and we will get them their certificate at a later time. So now at this time, I will call those that are in attendance to come forward and receive their certificate from Mayor Freilich and congratulate you guys for your years of service. And we would just ask that you would stay up at the front until we're done so we can get a picture at the end. So first up, we have 3 years of employment, Megan Rohde, police officer. Next, we have 5 years of employment, Benjamin Buchmiller, part-time firefighter. Another 5 years of employment, we have Jace Timpey, mechanical supervisor at our Public Works Department. Moving on to 15 years of employment, Candy Fleck, our clerk of courts at the municipal court. Another 15 years of employment, Matthew Hennessy, firefighter with us at the fire department. 20 years of employment, Brian Dirk, and Brian is our street maintenance superintendent. Okay, our last 2 are 25 years of employment. The first one is Kenneth Albrecht, and he is our water treatment plant operator 3. Congratulations, Kenneth. And our last, employee that we want to recognize, some of you may recognize his name. I have never heard of him, so he might be someone I need to meet tonight. Jim Neubauer, 25 years of employment, our city administrator. Congratulations, Jim.
Or should we just stand behind him?
Engine 11, 6140, engine 11, please respond to
Okay. Congratulations to everyone. And thank you on behalf of the city of Mandan for your service. Commissioners, you have the agenda in front of you.
Make the motion to approve tonight's agenda. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Heinshaw and a second by Commissioner Rohr. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Brown. Yes. Rohr,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Consider the approval of the March 4th, 2025 Board of City Commissioner meeting. Look for a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the minutes of the March 4th Board of City Commissioner meeting minutes as written.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Schoberg, a second by Commissioner Rohr. Any further discussion regarding the minutes? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioners Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun. Yes. Rohr,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes,
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. We'll move to agenda item F. Consider a zone change from agricultural and MC industrial to agricultural for the Heart River Women's Transformational Center. Andrew?
Good evening, Mayor Freilich and Commissioners. I have pulled up a location map for this item on the screen this evening. This is a zone change from both the agricultural and MC districts to just go into the agricultural district. This is related to HRWTC edition, which is the state of North Dakota's project related to the Women's Transformational Center being constructed on the west side of town. The project involves the consolidation of multiple lots into one, and as such, only one zoning designation may be placed on the property. The agricultural district will work for the proposed use of the Women's Transformational Center, and its staff recommendation to approve agricultural zoning for this property. This has been noticed as a public hearing for this evening, and as such, one must be conducted, and a recommendation and a motion may be made under item K2 in the packet this evening. So would recommend having the public hearing now and then moving down to K2 to make a motion on the first consideration of ordinance 1460. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for Andrew? Hearing none, we will open the public hearing now. Are there any comments? Second call for comments. Third and final call for comments. Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. We will move to item K, agenda item K. Number 2, first consideration of ordinance 1460, a zone change from agricultural and MC industrial to agricultural for Heart Women's Transformational Center addition.
Mayor Freilich and Commissioners, a draft of ordinance 1460 is included in the packet. The recommendation this evening is approval contingent on the approval of a utility servicing plan, which is a condition that's been following this item. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for Andrew? Hearing none.
Then I move to approve the first consideration of ordinance 1460, a zone change from A, agricultural and MC industrial to A, agricultural for the Heart River Women's Transformational Center addition.
second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Rohr, a second by Commissioner Braun. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Braun.
Yes.
Rohr,
Yes.
Schoberg.
Yes.
Heinchan.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. We have no bids tonight, so we'll move to H on your agenda, and that is the consent agenda. Are there any items you would like pulled, Commissioners?
I would just ask, Mayor, if we could have clarification on items 2, the entire block, so 2A through K,
Would you like it pulled or clarification at this point?
just clarification.
Okay. We'll bring up Greg Welch.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. According to the city's budget policies, the transfer of year-end expenditure budget balances from the current fiscal year, in this case 2024, referencing the agenda, to the following fiscal year, which is 2025, may be allowed for specific department operations or commitments authorized but not completed for the current fiscal year, and the transfer must be approved by the Board of City Commissioners no later than March of the following fiscal year. That is the adopted city budget policy for the action before you. And North Dakota Century Code allows for the budget to be amended at any time during the year. And so the practice and the procedures that the city is following this time of the year is rather consistent with what other cities and municipalities do throughout the state. And this is a practice that we have done, the city of Mandan, for many, many years. And there are a number of departments listed under this item, so if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask any of the department managers who are here this evening to get up, and they can probably answer whatever specific questions you would have regarding their department transfer.
Mayor Gregg, would it be safe to say there's 2 categories? One of them has to do with transfer from, let's say, department's unspent monies, and then the other would be maybe projects that the money received is outside and the money has not been spent because the project hasn't been not finished yet, so those monies would be transferred. So would it be safe to say there's basically those 2 categories?
Mayor, Commissioner Rohr, that would be correct.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Greg? Thank you, Greg. So considering the consent agenda, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Brown, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioners Rohr,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun. Yes. Mayor Freilich.
Yes. On to new business. Item number 1, consider Memorial Highway Engineering Service Agreement and Project Update. Jarek?
Mayor and Commissioners, good evening. For your consideration tonight, I have an amendment to our current engineering service agreement with HDR. HDR has been our consultant that has been designing the underground utility portion of the Memorial Highway project for us. And this amendment would take that existing contract and add construction oversight and kind of active construction communication efforts to the contract that they already have. This is an expected amendment. We typically structure our contracts. I do have a kind of a visual on screen here. We usually structure our contracts in 3 stages, and then for the Memorial Highway project, it's technically 2 projects, so we have 2 separate 3-stage efforts. And the one we're talking about tonight is this one right here. So we have kind of anticipated this amendment, and we did take it into account when we were estimating special assessments and everything up to this point. It's our recommendation to approve the amendment as presented. If you have any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or Craig Mazzara is also here from HDR, and he'd be able to answer them too.
Any questions for Jarek? If none, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the amendment to our engineering service contract with HDR as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Heinchan, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion?
Mayor, just to point out, I think there's a lot of work by the city departments and all to let the public know, especially people out that are going to be affected by this project. That's going to be ongoing because there's a lot of transitional things occurring. Attending the meeting the other day, that there was a lot of effort being made by the city to work with the people and keep people informed, the traffic flows, the businesses have concern. And so for those watching, others, keep attuned to the city, their website, and if you have questions, to check with us and go from there.
Thank you. I agree. With that, roll call, please.
Commissioners Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun. Yes. Rohr.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes.
And then, sorry, I was going to say on top of that, I do have a little bit of a project update, if that's okay.
By all means.
Okay. Just to let everybody know, I don't want to pass up an opportunity to maybe let people know about the project. We're currently anticipating the project to start on April 1st, and the first portion of that project will be the storm installation on the south end of the corridor. We did have a graphic kind of prepared for us. Associated with the storm installation, there will be 2 expected street closures during the month that we're expecting to start during the month of April. One of those would be a closure at 19th Street Southeast that we're expecting to be about 3 weeks during the installation of the storm sewer underneath that road. And then a similar closure at 21st Street Southeast, once again, 3 weeks long, would be our expectation for the closure. We just want to let everybody know about that and start setting expectations to see traffic control devices out there and construction crews and everything.
Is this the primary contractor or a subcontractor doing the stormwater?
I believe this would be the utility subcontractors and the dirt subcontractors right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Any comments? Okay. Thank you, Jarek. Item number 2, consider acceptance of state Homeland Security grant through the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services. Captain Pat Haug, welcome.
Thank you, Commissioners, Mayor. As you know, back on February 18th of 2025, I came before you and asked permission to apply for the state Homeland Security grant. On March 13th, we received an award letter that we have been accepted for those funds of $135,000 to purchase that modular vehicle system that we've to help secure our downtown area during our numerous events. We're also requesting on the fiscal side an amendment to the 2025 Police Department's capital outlay budget for that $135,000 to make the initial purchase. And then once that purchase is completed, we will submit a reimbursement to the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services for a full refund of that money through the grant. Any questions for me?
Mayor Pat, just to clarify for those watching, these are for barriers. Just to explain what the purpose and outcome is to be from those.
Correct. The particular barrier system we're looking at is a very robust one. Each barrier itself is about 700 pounds apiece and have the ability to stop large vehicles from entering our enclosed area should they hit one of these barriers or several of these barriers. It is designed to stop the vehicle. They're actually considered a non-lethal way of stopping a vehicle from penetrating a closed area where there's a large amount of pedestrians and stuff to reduce injury and even in death. So the whole idea is to use these to control those closed areas downtown from a vehicle entering into our closed areas and to avoid some of the incidents you've seen recently. For instance, the New Orleans incident where the truck was able to enter an area where there were a number of pedestrians and obviously there were a number of deaths and a large amount of injuries. So these are to help reduce that possibility.
We proactively want to be prepared and make it safe for our citizens to come to our events and
Absolutely.
other people. Make our events safe.
Commissioner Mayor, that is correct. We're trying to do everything we can to secure these downtown areas during all these events so that anybody visiting or attending these events will feel safe and protected from a vehicle entering these areas.
Thank you.
So I would consider this phase one in the hardening of our events. And we do have a broad committee in place that is working on this from all angles to secure our events. So I commend Captain Haug for taking the lead on this. But all of the emergency response entities are involved. The Morton County Emergency Management are involved. So there's a lengthy process in securing these areas during the events, and we will continue to do that. Thank you. And at that point,
I move to approve the acceptance of the fiscal year 2024 State Homeland Security Grant through the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services in the amount of $135,000 to amend the 2025 Police Department's capital outlay budget of $135,000 for the purchase of the equipment.
Second.
we have a motion by Commissioner Braun, a second by Commissioner Heinchan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Heinchan.
Yes.
Braun.
Yes.
Rohr.
Yes.
Schoberg.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Item number 3, legislative update. Mr. Dubauer.
Mayor Freilich and Commissioners, don't mean to sound like a broken record, but House Bill 1176, which has been supported by legislative leaders and the governor, has moved from the Senate Finance and Tax, I think on Monday, on to the Senate Appropriations Committee, where I would expect that it might move fairly quickly after that, because I did, again, this is legislative leadership and the governor's property tax proposal. It calls for 3% caps and also increases the $500 primary residence credit to much more significant amounts over time. So that's kind of the big thing that has been going on this week. We'll continue to keep an eye on that. Just wanted to give you an update also. Last week was able to attend on behalf of the North Dakota League of Cities, the National League of Cities Congressional Conference in Washington, D.C. for a few days. Did have an opportunity to meet with Representative Fedorchak, also with Senator Hoeven and staff members of Senator Kramer, who is still recovering from his fall at home. We did mention a few things that is effective for basically all states and municipal bonds that are issued. There was some talk about municipal bond interest becoming taxable. If that were the case, that would drive our borrowings, the interest rate that we pay up, because of if the holders of those bonds are having to pay tax on the interest on that, then obviously the cost of those rate of return needs to go up. We were assured that that was a thought that was not getting a lot of attention at the federal level. A couple other things we mentioned were to provide for sustainable and consistent transportation funding. So we oftentimes see ebbs and flows in the amount of money that is available for transportation projects. Makes it very difficult for us to plan projects that we may be having in the works if we don't know what kind of federal funds may be available from year to year. So we pushed on that. We also, on the behalf of the city of Mandan, we have a wastewater treatment plant project in the works right now. So we mentioned any assistance for wastewater treatment plants would be certainly appreciated, and we're given a direction on a few places to look for additional funding for that. Also, our recently submitted build grant, which covers the area kind of from 2nd Street all the way up to Division Street, the center part of town, Mandan proper, as congressional support for that application. So 3 things that were, I was able to go there and certainly support those on behalf of the city of Mandan, along with the North Dakota League of Cities. One of the things that we did here, obviously there's a lot of state of flux in the federal government right now as far as what agencies are existing and which ones aren't. Kind of the word was that if we have, they likened it to, North Dakota often talks about the revenue streams and buckets on where these buckets are headed for. The one bucket that we have are signed contracts that we have with the federal government. Those are pretty much, we can count on those. Nothing's guaranteed in this world today, but we can probably count on those, as our COPS grants and some other things are, we don't think are being touched at this point in time. There are issues with agreements that have been approved, but those contracts have not yet been signed. Those we need to contact our congressionals and delegation and find out what the status of those are. Those are kind of in flux right now. And there's also federal programs that we may have applications in, but we haven't heard word on where they stand yet. Those are kind of in that 3rd bucket where we just don't know right now. So again, we are fortunate that I think the contracts that we have with the federal government on those 2 issues, whether it be lower hearts, FEMA match and things like that, and also COPS grants things, those are signed contracts that we have, so we can pretty much count on those funds still being available, but anything that isn't signed yet would be in flux. So just wanted to kind of bring you up to date on those things. Other than that, we will keep our eye on all legislative issues that are currently going on right now. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Neubauer? Oh, thank you very much. Let's move on to resolution and ordinances. Item number 1, resolution establishing rates and charges for services at the cemetery. Mr. O'Keefe.
Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor. What I got here tonight is to present a resolution regarding adjustments to the rates and charges for services at the Mandan Union Cemetery. As you know, the cost of maintaining the cemetery continues to rise due to increasing expenses for maintenance, equipment, and staffing. To ensure the long-term sustainability of cemetery operations while continuing to provide quality services to the community, we are proposing necessary fee adjustments. Specifically, we recommend a $50 increase to both opening, closing fees, and the grave right fees, along with a $100 increase for burials taking place after 3:30 p.m. and on Saturdays. These adjustments will help offset rising operational costs while allowing the cemetery to maintain its level of service and upkeep. This resolution sets new rates which would take effect on May 1st, 2025. The proposed changes have been carefully considered to balance financial sustainability with affordable for the residents. Today, I'm just asking for approval of this resolution to support the continued maintenance and care of the Mandan Union Cemetery. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
Shane, what is the total cost at present?
On what specific fee or?
To purchase a lot and
To purchase a lot right now for residential is $700. So it'd be going to $750.
okay, I don't recall specifically, but I seem to recall it was that fee just for burial cost basically goes away within a short order. We're talking a few months, and then we've got to end up paying for it through the city tax fund. Am I correct?
Commissioner Braun, Mayor, that would be incorrect.
I guess what I'm saying,
can ask
Greg or
Greg,
Shane,
yeah.
is after they pay for the plot, when we incorporate help, groundskeep, maintenance, all of that money essentially is gone. So we end up paying for the cemetery fees out of another area.
Mayor, Commissioner Braun, is your question regarding what other financial assistance does the cemetery fund receive other than just the charges for services?
I'm more trying to just make a statement that the fee raise and the amount that we initially pay is very minimal. And we end up paying through other sources in a short time due to all of the other infrastructure costs and staff and things like that.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to say.
So
Thank
he's
you.
trying to say that the cemetery is not self-sustaining
That's correct.
with its fees.
It's not.
But I would ask,
Totally.
what is the additional monies that this will raise historically? You know, if you take per year, what are you looking to raise?
Mayor, Commissioners, right now our 5-year average is we sell about 100 lots, and we have about 100 opening closings. So raising up, the $50 on this selling the lots, that would give us the additional $5,000, and then the additional. Sorry, yeah, that would be and then the 10,000 total. Sorry, doing simple math in my head, trying fast. On the average of 100 lot sales and an average of 100 opening and closings with the $50 fee added to each of those.
Mayor Shantz, per year, right?
Per year, yes.
year,
Yep, that's just our 5-year
You're talking about over
average.
5 years, but you didn't specify whether it's per year.
Yep, sorry, that's our 5-year average. About 100 a year.
Mayor and Shane, when was the last time that we did increase this rate? I don't know if I saw that.
Here, I can.
Burial right in 2024.
Could you repeat that? You gotta, no,
Nope.
hold it. Come up here, please.
Mayor, Commissioners, I'll pull up Jason Herman. He's the superintendent at the cemetery.
Mayor, Commissioner, in 2024, we upped the burial rights $100 for residents and non-residents. We did not adjust the opening and closing fees, though.
Okay.
So this will be $200 in the last 2 years total?
150.
150. And are you keeping pace?
Like compared to other
Well, we raised it 100 last year, we're raising it 50 this year, correct?
Yes.
So is this 50 enough?
I guess I'm going to kind of look at Greg on this one. Or is this enough for what we think our normal increase is? Or
And I guess, Jason, is this comparable to other cities?
we compare to other cities, some private cemeteries around here. We are within the ballpark of them. We are not the highest, and we are not the lowest either. Price-wise, we are kind of in the middle ground, so to speak.
Okay. Greg, did you have something to add?
The question regarding, is this enough? These charge rate increases will not make the cemetery fund whole, as far as that these charges pay for 100% of the operating costs. The general fund is still providing some assistance between 50 and 60,000 just to help. But these increases certainly will reduce that general fund contribution to the cemetery fund. Now, when we talk about major purchases, like major equipment or major projects out there, these fees and charges do not support those costs. This is where either the general fund or the sales tax fund would have to help the cemetery fund meet those obligations.
Very good.
But this is an incremental approach to try to have the cemetery fund as self-supporting as possible, but trying to keep the rates in line and reasonable with other cemeteries.
Mayor Gregg, the columbariums, that is something that we've initiated here in recent years. What's the cost to obtain a columbarium out there?
Commissioners, Mayor, the columbarium is per space $600.
Okay. Are there plans in the future to construct more of those out there?
Mayor, Commissioners, yes, there is a plan to
Okay.
enhance that.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. O'Keefe? Mr. Brown?
Mayor and Commissioners, I guess that's what I was trying to say in the lengthy comment, was simply that this is more than reasonable to increase at this amount. So, thank you.
Any other questions? Happy St. Patrick's Day, Mr. O'Keefe, and thank you.
Thank you.
I move to approve the resolution establishing rates and charges for services from the cemetery fund.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Heinchan, a second by Commissioner Brown. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Braun,
Yes.
Rohr,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Let's see. Item number 3, second and final consideration of ordinance number 1462, which creates the prohibited camping ordinance. Deputy Chief Beer, welcome.
Commissioners, Mayor Freilich, thank you. This is a second and final consideration of an ordinance prohibiting camping on public property. Since the introduction, there's been one minor change. The word levy has been added to the ordinance as an area that's prohibited for camping. We received one written comment since the first reading. That was from a citizen essentially inquiring how we're taking steps to protect people who are homeless who may be affected by an ordinance such as this. I did reply to her and answer her questions and have not heard anything back. I'll take any other questions you might have.
Deputy Chief Beer, why did we add the levy system into the ordinance?
That was requested by one of the staff members, just to clarify, I think, for the general public to know that the levy system is part of the public property that is not allowed to be camped on.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Mayor, Deputy Chief Beer, you haven't received any additional letters of support other than the one we received prior to last meeting. Is that correct?
Commissioner Heinschel, Mayor, yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
At this point, any further questions?
I move to approve second and final consideration of ordinance number 1462.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Brown, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Rohr,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. There is no other business to consider tonight. Future meeting dates for the Board of City Commissioners, March 25th, 2025 at 5:30. This is a special meeting, working session, long-range financial planning. April 1st, 2025 at 5:30 is the City Commission meeting with the Board of Equalization meeting at 7 p.m. April 8th, 2025 at 5:30, special meeting, working session, long-range financial planning. April 15th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. City Commission meeting, and May 6th, 2025 at 5:30 City Commission meeting. And with that, be kind to your neighbor, and onward and upward, Mandan. This meeting is adjourned.